Hi, good afternoon. This is take two on my looking at the different types of stress that students and perhaps your children experience in VCE. So the first type of stress is, I'm just going to put some light. See, there you go, that's better. The first type of stress, and probably the most obvious type of stress that children have in VCE, is performance stress. So whether that's from them or their teachers or their parents, it's all about doing well, getting the SACs done, doing well on the exams, performing at your best. And they may have a particular course in mind, or they just want a particular number. Maybe their aim is to get their name in the paper. So that's the most common form of stress that we tend to associate with VCE. There are two other ones that we mightn't think of as much. The first one is, oh, and I notice we can hear my washing machine in the background. This is what happens when you're a psychologist working at home. It tends to take off a little bit on the spin cycle, and it may get really, really loud. So if it does, I might just go and turn it off. Maybe I can walk over now and try and turn it off while I keep talking. So yes, I will do that. So the second type of stress is to do with transition. So our children, you there, doing VCE. Let me just press the button, and there we go. That should do it. Hopefully it does it. Our children doing VCE tend to be 17 and 18-year-olds. And they're what I call adults on P plates. So although they're 18, they've got their brain development has a long way to go, and they still have a lot of things to learn. They're adults on P plates. So while they're doing this, the transition in between school and the adult world, whether that be going to work, whether it be going to a full-time uni course, learning how to drive, taking on more and more responsibility. They're not going to have a teacher reminding them to hand work in. They're not going to have a bell telling them it's time to go to class. And they're not going to have deadlines. They're going to have to make the deadlines themselves and work much more independently than perhaps what they might be used to doing. So they're not going to have the lecturer ask them how they are. It's a whole different world. And they know this. They know things are going to change, and they're getting used to leaving their real childhood and their protected space behind. And that's a big thing emotionally and intellectually to come to terms with. And for some students more than others, that transition is going to be huge. This could be a good time to perhaps sit your child down and outline some expectations. I was speaking to someone this week, and they'd had that sort of conversation with their child where they went, you know, next year we're not going to pay for this. You'll have to pay for your own phone and your own clothes and your own transport, and we'll feed you, and you'll always have a roof over your head, but the expectations and support we're going to offer you are going to change. So you may feel that might be a bit much for them to have that conversation right now, but what it can and does do is provide some certainty for them. And that's a helpful thing, not a hindrance. So the third type of stress, so we have performance, transition, and the third one is choices. It's making decisions. Making decisions about, you know, what they want to study, where they want to go. Are they going to stay at home? Are they going to try and get a job and move out with friends? Are they going to take a year off? There's lots of choices to make from a relatively limited knowledge base. I don't know about you, but I know when I left school, I had no idea what I wanted to do, and I didn't know what a lot of these careers would look like. And it's not till you get out there and try things on that you realise some workplaces and some types of work are a better fit than others. So that's the third type of stress your child is probably going through. Transition, choices, performance. It's no wonder their heads are spinning round and round. So stress, definition of stress for me is that it's a perception, belief that we can't handle whatever's going on around us. And that gets expressed in our body states. For example, headaches, stomach aches, nausea, fatigue, trembling, twitching. There's a lot of different ways that stress manifests itself, and it comes back to that belief and perception. So I talked a little bit about that last vlog I did, and I think I'll talk about that again a bit more too, about what we can do with that perception. It's actually a really important part of therapy and looking at that. So hopefully you found this helpful. If you feel that you and your child probably need a little bit more support on managing some of these stresses at the moment, we're here to help. Send me an email, give us a call, write a comment, and we'll support you whenever way we can. So it's Kim Dunn here from Positive Young Minds. If you believe, like I do, that it takes a village to raise a child, share this with members of your tribe so together we can